It is unprecedented, and I don't think we've seen, a president, certainly since Watergate, who's been able to impose that sort of power and will, on the whole system. But I want to know that now, what is the next step, though? What is the next step for this administration? Because having used a lot of political capital to get this very big thing through that sweeps away a lot of the Biden program and even a lot of the Obama program away, is the next shift, I've heard it suggested that the strategy is going to now start to pick off Democrat programs on kind of 80-20 issues where most people agree with the Republicans and force Democrats to take extreme positions voting against common sense single issue items.
Look at what Donald Trump has again achieved, and you may not like it all, but look what he's done in the first 6 months. He has essentially shut the border. We have almost no illegal border crossings anymore. The numbers are down to about 6,000 a month. The peak of the Biden administration, they were running at 200. They were running about 200,000 a month. He has imposed these tariffs that he's done. Now he's backed off some of the more extreme ones, but the actual tariff effects of the effect of the tariffs that he has imposed so far amount to about an average 15% tariff rate on all U.S. imports. That was 3% before he came into office. He's taken extraordinary measures on the international front. He's done what presidents have not been able to do in the past, which is get NATO members to agree to spend much more on their defense. He's been the first president to strike against Iran in the last 50 years. That's the agenda, James. Now, you're absolutely right. Part of the continuing agenda and part of his success again so far is to have essentially marginalized the Democrats. Remember that election last year was pretty close. Trump likes to talk about it as a landslide. He won the popular vote by 1.5 percentage points, very narrow majorities in the House and the Senate. Democrats, no reason for the Democrats to be in the condition they're in. But he has managed, I think, through focusing on the issues, the kind of issues you talk about, illegal immigration, the transgender issue, getting America, making America sort of great again in the world, getting these tax cuts through, by putting the Democrats in a position where they seem to be adopting extreme positions. They're on the side of illegal immigrants. That's not popular. They're on the side of people who believe in that men should be allowed to play women's sports. So what you've got, and then on top of that, you've got the Democratic Party itself reaching for the extreme. You had the primary election of this mayor in New York, mayoral candidate in New York last week, Zoran Mamdani, who is basically describes himself as a democratic socialist. The leading figures in the Democratic Party right now, James, are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also describes herself as a socialist, and Bernie Sanders, who also describes himself as a socialist. So not only has Trump been able to achieve all this for his domestic and international agenda, he's been able to marginalize the Democrats, make them seem the extreme party, make them seem out of step with Americans. And exactly as you say, we can expect to see much more of that, I think, now over the next 6 months.